Okay, so I just want to review some things with you for your Bad Hair Day project. So in Google Classroom, there's a link to the Prezi. If you click on that, you can see um, the details for the project. So if you missed it on Monday, I do encourage you to look through it. I'm going to be posting the videos here. Okay, so make sure you guys watch those if you need any help. Okay, so I'm just going to review on how to get an image. One, you can use a magazine. And as we discussed, the portrait you select can be from the internet. It can just be a high resolution image or a magazine. It can be of anybody, famous, a celebrity, an athlete, politician, hero, actor, model, random person from an ad in a magazine. It could also be from a famous painting. It could even be of yourself if you feel like you want to do that. Okay, so just make sure it's a good quality image. The way to do that is you will go to Google. You will search a person. So I will look up Johnny Depp. I will click on images right here. You should have an option for tools in your search function. So if you click on tools, this menu will pop up. I want you to make sure you click on large size, okay? If you don't do that, see how some of like this is 500 by 500 versus this is over 1,000 by 1,000. This is a higher quality image, more pixels, okay? So you don't want to use something like this. So instead of having to hover over and see how big the files are, you can just go to Tools, Size, Large, okay? And then find an image you like. An image like this might not work because it's so black here. You lose a lot of detail, so you don't really know where his face starts and stops. So make sure it's a good image that will work really well. This image would not work either because part of his head is cropped off. Okay, so you don't want to use that. This one would work because we're cutting his hair off anyway, but this wispy bang thing going on might be a little bit difficult to deal with. So this is a great image. It's on a light background. It's really easy to see where the face ends and the background begins. It's a high-res image. Okay, it's 850 by 1166. That'll be fine. So I'm going to click on View Image. Okay, and it's a pretty good quality image. Okay, now most of you probably don't have Photoshop shortcuts in your dock. This thing down here, this is called your dock. What we're going to do is add a Photoshop shortcut right here. So click on your Launchpad, or as I like to call it, the rocket launcher. And you have all these extra programs. Okay, you could also search for it in Finder, but I like this way. And Photoshop, it'll be different where it is on your computer, but is a black square icon with a blue PS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and hold on that icon and drag it to my dock. So I'm going to click, hold, drag, and I will place it into my dock. Now I will click back on Google Chrome. I will click and hold on this image and then drag that and just drop it right on top of that Photoshop icon in my dock. Photoshop will then open and the image will be opened in Photoshop. Okay, if you print directly from the web browser, you will not be able to control the size of the image, and you want to be able to control size to make sure it's exactly what you want. Okay, so you do want to open it up in Photoshop. That way you can see how big or small it will be and make sure that it doesn't look pixelated or grainy or anything like that. Okay, so now Photoshop is open with my image in there. Okay, this is called your workspace. It doesn't matter how big or small it appears here. What you can just do is go to View, Fit on Screen if you want to see it bigger. Okay, the first thing you need to do is go to Image, Image Size. Let's see how big it is. Okay, whoa, that's a lot of inches, but look at the resolution. It's only 1 pixel per inch. That's weird. So what I'm first going to do is change that to 300. Yours might be 72, it might be 300, but just everybody change resolution to 300. Then I'm going to change my width to something more normal, like 8. Okay, so now you see it's 8 by almost 11 by 300 pixels. Okay, so that's reasonable. That's where we sort of want to be. Okay, click OK. Now it's big on my screen. You can go to view, fit on screen, and you can see the whole thing. Now you can print it because it's a normal size. We know it's big enough, a high enough resolution to print. So we'll go to File, Print. It will, by default, print to our color LaserJet in the corner. Make sure it says NHS A127. I think all the computers are hooked up properly. When you're in the print dialog box here, you can actually resize it by just clicking on these little corners and bringing them in. So you want to think of your final size as basically double this white rectangle. This is a full sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper minus the unprintable areas, okay? So your final composition is going to be double that size. So you're going to want to make sure that the head of your person is large enough that you can see it, but also small enough that you have plenty of room to do some fun things with your hairstyle. So I might go a little bit bigger. So I'm looking at about, this is about 8 by 6-ish. And I think that's going to work out for me. And then I would just hit print. It's going to ask you some different questions. Just keep hitting print and yes and okay and all of that. Okay. Mine, I have it set so it doesn't ask me all the questions, but yours will ask me questions. Okay. And that is how you get your image. And then you are ready to start in your sketchbook working on your thumbnails. And then you can start on your final surface. So there you have it. So part 2 and part 3 are also available for the videos for your viewing pleasure. So have fun with this, and I will miss you guys this week. I'm sorry to be out for 2 days, but have fun. Thanks. Bye.